Hello and welcome to Redshirt Cinema Club, a weekly podcast about robbing the rich and storing the proceeds in an elaborate treehouse. This week we begin our series on our individual picks for the best film of 1991, starting with Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Objectivity is going out of the window, Robin Hood is coming back the other way, and everyone is having the best time, except Rob. Join us now. Join Robin Hood. Hello and welcome to Redshirt Cinema Club. I am your host, former arrogant nobleman turned handsome freedom fighter Nathan Dighton, and I'm joined today by ferrety scribe Robert Pearson.
Hello.
And he does look a bit like him.
And dribbling executioner David Jackson.
Which one's the ferrety scribe?
I mean, it can't be described any better. He's literally called Scribe, and he's ferrety.
It's the shortest route to London, sire.
They love him.
That guy. I love that guy.
That's you.
I love that guy.
You see, they love him.
They love him. The poor.
Poor sir. I love him.
Oh, yeah. There's a similarity.
We are here to discuss the best film, perhaps not just of 1991.
But perhaps not even of 1991,
but
according to Rob and I.
The 1990s and perhaps all time. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which was my pick for the number one slot of the year in which we are doing all of our rankings, to be followed up in future weeks by the choices of David Jackson, Hook, and Robert Pearson, Terminator 2. This was the first
Judgment Day.
Please use the full title.
This was the first one released in the year. In the UK, it was in July.
Right.
So summer holidays. I mean, the Terminator 2 was followed up in August, but this is why we're doing this one first, even though I think we said we were going to do...
We did, yeah. Surprise.
Terminator 2 first. First of all, turning to Robert Pearson, I understand you had not watched this film before.
No.
What did you
You'd
think?
you'd never seen it before?
Don't think so.
Wow.
What an experience.
Interesting.
And it is. And well, you can be our test subject, Rob.
Yes.
So we know the film's the best film of the 90s. What did you think of it?
It was an entertaining romp. I didn't think it was very good. I'm really intrigued to hear and understand why you like it so much, Nathan, because this must be linked to some personal
trauma,
experience or childhood memory of yours. There's no other reason why you would love this film so much, because it's not very good, is it? It's not very good. Come on.
I genuinely think this is a very good
film. Tonally, it's
extraordinary.
It's all over the place. Well, it's not all over the place. Tonally, there is everyone apart from Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman are acting in quite a fun camp movie.
Agreed.
And Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman are like two Americans coming over here, taking it way too serious. They are both awful in this. Come on now, they are terrible.
Incorrect.
No, I am correct. Kevin Costner especially. I mean, Kevin Costner.
Really?
I think he's really bad. Just look, we're going to learn today that I really dislike Kevin Costner. Not in like a I hate him. I just find him so irritating.
I was struck
annoying.
I was struck by on Amazon. Is it where I watched it? But the poster was Kevin Costner is Robin Hood. Like, as in, what I'm saying is, at the time, Kevin Costner, he just swept
the Oscars. He just swept the Oscars with Dances with Wolves. The previous year.
JFK is
I've never
coming
seen
next
him.
year.
I've never seen him be very good in anything. I've not seen.
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's your opinion. I'm just saying, it's amazing. He was such a big thing.
He's the most unremarkable man. He's so unremarkable.
Well, isn't that the story of Robin Hood? Anyway, that's enough from Rob. What did you think?
Yeah, I don't have anything interesting to say. I really love it. It is hard to separate.
Things to say, by the way.
Yeah, that's good. I will get to yours. I think it is hard to separate it from my childhood, from loving it. I genuinely think it is good. I mean, it is a bit cheesy. It is camp, but I think in the best possible way. I don't find Kevin Costner or Morgan Freeman's performances bad at all. I think Alan Rickman is so good. But actually, the whole cast is so good. Like you said, the ensemble is fantastic.
Everyone's pretty good.
Yeah.
Apart from Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman.
It's got great action. The music is incredible. Like when the opening of the film, the opening credits, the music, I literally wrote down, fucking hell, the music.
The music is...
So did I.
I recognise the music from... I'm trying to place it. It's from a...
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's from a Sting, though. It's from...
A Sting?
I've heard that piece of music so many times when a movie starts. That piece of music...
It's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, but it's also used... it's definitely used in the studio sting of other films. I recognised it immediately, and I've never seen this film before.
I think I know what you're on about.
The bit that's like...
Maybe Morgan Creek production. Trying to tell you where it's from and you're just shouting.
And then it goes into...
singing.
Because I can hear the opening scene of the intro of another film, and I can't identify what it is.
You're right. I think that bit, and like Nath said, it is...
I think it's Morgan Creek production.
Who I assume worked on this movie and were so thrilled.
With this
They're
piece
like,
of
we'll
music.
just use this forever because we want people to remember.
Michael Carmen, the man who wrote this music.
And conducted.
Passed away quite young, very sadly, but also did the music to Band of Brothers.
Oh,
Which
really?
is a brilliant piece of music. And I think genuinely has a style which kind of gives off a sense of deep heroism and adventure and
Nobility.
Yeah, nobility. Yeah, I think he just has that in his locker. To answer your question, well, why do I love this film so much? Because I was 10 when it came out. Obviously,
I mean that makes a lot of sense.
And I watched it in the summer holidays, and it became then extremely obsessed with Robin Hood for a long time. I think for my 12th or 13th birthday, I went to Sherwood Forest and just enjoyed being there. I watched all of the Robin Hood films I could. So I watched the other Robin Hood that was released around the same time as this, which was much darker, much less fun. Robin and Marian with Sean Connery from the 80s, I think it was, maybe late 70s. Also quite a depressing film. The Disney Robin Hood.
I used to love the Disney
Robin Hood.
Disney was great.
And
Stop hissing in my ears. Where's Prince John in this film?
He's not there. The
outrageous.
The answer to the question, do I know whether this is a good film or a bad film? I agree with you that Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman and Christian Slater are all doing something different and have been imported in a way and are kind of literally in a different movie. But yes. I also think that Dave's right. Alan Rickman is at the kind of the head of a kind of a pyramid of performances. His is the most over the top and mannered, and he understands what kind of film he's in and what he's trying to give to it. But I would say the entire cast, underneath in the British cast,
yes, gives
an authenticity and just that shot. We're skipping way ahead because I have moment-to-moment notes for why this film is so good. But when Robin is trying to make a shot in a little competition with Wolf, the child, and the lads behind him are just giving it. That is some of the most authentic British banter.
I enjoyed
Is the shirt coming off as well?
I enjoyed all of that stuff. But the first hint you get of it is Alan Rickman's campness. And at that point in the movie, it's been quite dark. He escapes from prison in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
There's no hint that we're watching like a camp British. The British guys, it's like a stage play for them. They're doing a pantomime and they're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Friar Tuck, larger than life, hilarious character. Little John, likeable, funny. All of the merry men.
Yes, they are very merry.
They're having a great time. They're all having a great time, and it's like they shot all of that and then brought in Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman to shoot their bits. And every time it cuts between them, it's like, what film am I watching now? The total jarring when we're first introduced to Sheriff of Nottingham. Like, the things he's doing is evil and dark and horrible.
Yeah.
But then he's funny.
Yes.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why?
I was just able to handle that. It just didn't upset me that much. And I will say the stuff at the beginning, when you rewatch the film over and over and over and over again for decades, the opening scenes they don't really feel of a piece. If anything is like separate, it's those scenes in there's some as I mentioned in the previous episode of the podcast, there's some stereotyping going on there.
There's a lot of stereotyping,
I'm happy to admit,
going on. And I guess it's old, isn't it? And some of it has not aged well.
This is English courage.
But the opening scene is the tone setter, right? That's where the film says, this is what type of movie I am.
Perhaps, yeah.
And
Robin, it's mortal.
I was like, this is going to be a serious epic retelling
absolutely not.
of Robin Hood. And then the bits I liked the being in the forest. I liked the shots of the English countryside. I
think that I don't want to jump too far ahead. I think the fact that this is a pre-CG for the most part movie, and the shot. I think this is. I would make the case that this is England's Lord of the Rings in terms of the way.
The Lord of the Rings is England's Lord of the Rings.
New Zealand's in terms of the movie and the locations. This movie looks extraordinary.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful depiction of, and it's shot all over the UK. So it's a wonderful film. I would say, the tone is all over the place from the beginning, really. But so we come in. Shots of the Bay Tapestry for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Just medieval, isn't it? Old.
Yeah, with Normans and that. But the music, I feel like this is a film. It's made by Americans with big American money, and it has to appeal to that audience. I'm not sure that they knew exactly what movie that they were making, or that there was much of a plan. But what we get is this like Gestalt entity, which has got Kevin Costner, and it does have all of the English casting, what they're doing. It's got this hodgepodge of shots from all over the UK. It tells an historically illiterate version of the story, and none of that really matters. And as soon as you get something as powerful as the music coming in at the beginning over this, again, completely irrelevant shots of the tapestry, I'm so in. That piece of music is
ridiculous,
unbelievably.
I really like the idea that the American companies and installed some big American stars, and they came over and they were like, and get just some British people for the rest of the cast.
Yeah, right.
And they were just like, they just start acting, and they're like, what are they doing? I don't know.
And you say
just let them do it.
You say Alan Rickman is the big, like the first tonal jump. It's not. It's Brian Blessed. And because Brian just writing in his castle, and this is the quietest you will ever hear Brian Blessed. I'm writing to ask you if you've seen my son.
Well, I thought he was being serious. I thought, okay, this is Brian Blessed taking himself seriously. And then he dies 2 minutes later.
It's so good. He's like, it's all right, Duncan. And then he goes out confronted with, and in the script, I think they've downplayed this, but if you're 10 and you read the novelization of the film several times, there's a backstory about how like a devil worshipping ring around Morticia and the Sheriff of Nottingham, and this is
Mortiana.
Good
Morticia
from the
Adams.
Yeah. Sorry, still on my mind. And this is obviously his circle of devil worshippers. So he comes out and he's just confronted by 30 people in cloaks.
Yeah.
And it's not, let's just go inside and shut the door, and that peasant's betrayed him. And it the exact moment this movie turns off is when Brian Blessed starts screaming, God and King Richard, God and King Richard. And then, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And Alan Rickman watches on evilly, as he does several times in the film.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is. I really didn't understand how that peasant had sort of double crossed him, really, because it was like, I guess he was just like, they just want you to go outside. But he could have just turned around and gone back at that point and gone, they haven't got your daughter at all, have they?
Duncan, let's just go back inside.
We'll just go back inside and shut the gates.
So my notes there are worst plan ever, but best shout ever.
The start, I want to say, I remembered as soon as I started watching it, this was another of the dodgy VHSs that my grandparents brought back from Cyprus that was filmed from within a Cypriot cinema. That's how I would watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves for many, many years.
As the makers intended.
And the start... The Jerusalem stuff was all so dark. I could never see anything that was happening. Yeah. And for years, I didn't really understand what was going on here, apart from, I knew that was where Robin met Azeem, but I didn't really know what they were doing there, or even though it does say right at the start what's going on. There's a little crawl. But yeah, it was just for me, that film just started when he got to England, pretty much. It was like, Brighton. I can see England now.
The Sussex
and it's
coast.
not very dark after that.
People used to make much play of the fact that they land on the south coast of England and then are very shortly on Hadrian's Wall.
There's a lot of
on the way to Nottingham.
A lot of geographical.
There's some bits in Cornwall. There's lots. The river is in North Yorkshire, I believe. And I've come to terms with this because when I think of, people aren't watching Lord of the Rings going, they're coming down this valley and then they're in this.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with that.
Good.
Like it's just England, isn't it? It's just here is a bit of country that represents England. We'll just find the nicest bits. It's got that tree in it that some awful person cut down.
I wanted to
nice
mention
tree.
the Sycamore Gap. Yeah, it's such a beautiful tree in a beautiful place. No more. But for our international listeners, the bit at the start, the tree on the wall
where Wolf hides.
It's very picturesque. Someone last year cut it down.
It was before that. Was it just last year?
I think it was last year. And the nation was outraged.
And they were, and
rightly,
we actually really can't talk about it because the court case is ongoing.
That's right.
Is it?
Yeah, we'll be in contempt of court if we say too much. But there's people on trial for it now.
All I said was someone cut it down.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, that seems very likely, Dave. I think that's legally sound.
Right. It's just a tree, isn't it? At the end of the day,
it
just happens to be in a very picturesque place.
Trees are living
get
things.
cut down every day.
I know, and I'm against it.
And you're sitting on a probably cut down tree somewhere. There's probably some wood underneath you right now.
I'm sure
this is very unlike you, Rob.
Yeah.
You know, whales get killed every day.
Yeah, I know.
Shall I go and sit on a whale?
No.
Don't you like a nice walk and looking
I
at
do,
the
yeah.
trees?
I love it. I think it's bad that the tree's cut down.
Good.
But I think someone being on trial for it is a bit much. That's an emotionally charged decision, isn't it? Oh, the nice tree's being cut down.
You can't just cut down a tree you don't own.
I know you can't.
Well, very similar.
But there would be a fine, I guess, for cutting down a tree you don't own.
There is. It's £600,000. That's what they've been. That's the amount of criminal damage that's been worked out. It was owned by someone else, and they went onto private land and cut it.
No one can own a tree.
And cut it down. No, you can.
Nonsense.
Why
you can't?
Why can't you own a tree,
You can't
man?
own a
But you
tree.
can cut one down.
It's a tree. It's like owning a river. I know you can own a tree.
Do you know what? There's a tree in my garden, Rob, and if someone came and cut it down, I'd be quite annoyed.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be annoyed.
Can I come and
my
stand in
fucking
your
tree.
garden?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want you to.
I know, but
it wouldn't be illegal to.
I want to dig into this, though. Is it that I can't, that no one can own
I'm
any...
talking philosophically. I find the concept of owning bits of nature stupid.
What about a plant?
A plant?
Or a flower? Can I own a flower?
What about a dog? Do you own your dog?
I wouldn't say I own. Oh, yeah, it's my dog. It lives in my house.
What if I cut your dog down?
No, I'd be sad. Obviously, I'd be sad.
Would you expect me to go on trial for it?
Yeah.
Right, I think there's some holes in your argument.
Yeah.
I don't think there are. I don't think we've properly explored this argument. You're just throwing hypothetical situations at me. Like, what you can't swim in certain sections of river because people own rivers. People own whole swathes of countryside. It's preposterous.
But
I think the decision to fine or put on trial or charge someone to pay £600,000 for cutting down this tree just because it is in a picturesque place that lots of people like. There are companies that cut down thousands of fucking trees every day, and that's fine. They make way for cows and farming.
I might
and
not agree
other shit.
with the laws of ownership and privatisation which sit behind the prosecution, but I do find the malicious and ignorant decision to go onto someone else's land and cut it down.
I think it's poor.
I'm not going to defend that, and I wouldn't say that it's the same as farming wood that you've planted either. So.
And it's also, like...
I can't believe you've made me be fucking serious about trees.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Redshirt Cinema Club.
Farming wood that you've planted. Farming wood that you've planted. The Amazon rainforest has been there for millions of years, and dickheads are cutting acres of it down every single day.
Anyway, but this one
They should all be put in prison for life. Everyone involved in that.
It's that Earth
It's
First
awful.
bastard.
The orangutans have got nowhere to live. And we're all up in arms about one tree. Yes, it's bad, and there should be a fine. It's bad.
Do you know
shouldn't go down cutting
Do you know what's
trees.
good? It's that the tree is immortalised in this scene in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
I'm glad it is.
If there are any orangutans listening, I've got a spare room if you need one.
There's the beautiful azure window in Malta that's in lots of films that was washed away in a storm.
Yes, but that's just
sad.
Nature, isn't it? It'd be cross if someone had gone over there with a chisel.
I'd be very cross.
This is our first look at Robin as an action hero. Azeem, the Great One, who's travelled all the way from the Holy Lands to protect him, is praying at a crucial moment when he first comes into contact with the Sheriff of Nottingham's men.
Yes.
What do we think of Guy of Gisborne?
I would have thought
Michael
that
Wincott.
Rob really enjoyed Guy of Gisborne.
I did enjoy Guy of Gisborne.
He was someone else who got the
I enjoyed
idea.
everyone, really, apart from the two biggest stars in the film.
Well, tell us about what you enjoyed about this instead of keeping on going back to why you didn't like Kevin Costner. Why did you like
Guy of
I'm
Gisborne?
sorry that I don't like a film that
Talk
you really like.
about
Nathan.
Guy of Gisborne.
Guy of Gisborne was just immediately evil and very enjoyably evil. The kind of evil performance I would aspire to do if I was playing a villain in a film. Just very unlikable, but the kind of unlikable that is fun to not like.
It's got a gravelly
like
voice.
Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And the whole show was poorer when he died, even though all the idiots were cheering.
We seem absolutely insistent on going off message today.
God.
Where have we seen Guy of Gisborne before in our run of movies?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I did not recognise it.
Was it from a movie after this or before this?
It's from a movie very slightly after, about 6 years after this.
Oh. So from 1997 then.
Yeah.
When
So-
we watched...
He's in a Star Trek.
No.
No?
I don't know.
He's in Alien Resurrection. He's the captain.
Oh, no
Is he?
way.
Yeah, he gets killed quite early in that film.
Yeah.
I can't
He's
remember.
quite heroic.
I probably don't remember.
What's his voice like? Because I was just thinking the whole
Slightly
time,
less gravelly, but
I'd like to hear what you really sound like. Because it was just like, what am I doing? Villain? Yeah, got it. No worries.
And anyway, very appropriately, Robin Hood claims ownership of the tree and therefore stops the sheriff's men. So it was Robin Hood's tree they cut down. That's probably why they're in court, isn't it?
But Robin Hood's claiming ownership of the tree in a sort of in a way that I like. I think if you own land on which the tree sits, you have a responsibility for the well-being of the tree.
I believe
And
that's-
Robin Hood's claim of ownership feels less like a get off my land type of ownership and more like a this land is for everyone.
Yeah,
I am its steward.
I do believe that is the impetus behind the prosecution of those people. But anyway, in this
I
instance...
agree with the prosecution of the people.
Thank you. It's a child called Daniel Newman who is hiding up the tree, who's been killing deer. And anyway, then he runs away. And
Hundreds of them.
Hundreds of them.
I liked that bit.
When
When he was asked, have you killed a deer? Yeah. Hundreds of deer. And then off he scarpers. I was like, oh, I like that little boy.
One of the shots that always sticks in my mind from this action sequence is when Robin throws a crossbow into the face of one of the soldiers.
Yeah.
And his whole helmet seems to bend and his face is bloody.
This is it. It's quite graphic, isn't it? Some of the violence. It doesn't shy away from bolts going into people's faces and people getting their hands cut off.
I think it does great medieval action.
Yeah.
All the way through. And I think there's also...
It's so odd. Like there's about 70% of this film I would happily show my daughter. But I wouldn't show this to my daughter because I don't want to see. But there's bolts going into people's faces. It's a bit too violent, I think, for a 9-year-old.
She has to learn it.
I watched it when I was 6. Several times. Although the other thing, we're about to meet dead Brian Blessed, and I think this was too dark on my VHS as well.
This was
because I was like, my God.
Oh, it's so horrifying.
And the scene is set up. Guy Gisborne goes back to Nottingham Castle, which is actually, I think it's Carcassonne in France, and then says, "Oh, this happened," and the sheriff tees it up by saying, "I hope he's." What is it? Gone back to his manor to find the home fire still burning.
Yes.
And they are. But the shot of...
I'm surprised Guy of Gisborne doesn't sort of tee that up when he's talking to Robin. Who are you then? Oh, I'm Robin of Locksley. I'd be like,
shit.
Have you been home?
Well, I guess he thinks he's about to kill him. But there is there is a little snigger. There's a little sneer.
Yeah. Good luck.
Good sneering. Yeah, this was always I like a good corpse. A really good corpse.
Really good. Horrible.
Bloated, exposed. The gases have built up. The skin is turning to jelly. That's what happens.
And what has Duncan been doing for 4 months?
Oh, just eating worms.
Yeah.
Just scratching his own face. And he's
Poor
eating
Duncan.
worms.
Lovely Duncan.
He's a tragic figure, isn't he?
He is.
Duncan.
He is. He doesn't have a good time in this movie, does he?
No, but
Apart from being really glad that Robin's back.
He's very brave.
He is.
The first time I really thought that the photography in the film is especially brilliant is in the morning when Robin unnecessarily cuts his hand. You could kill yourself with a cut like that on your hand at this point. You just get infected, your hand falls off, that's the end. No more arrows. Anyway, he cuts himself, he swears it on his own blood. And there is a I feel like the secret of this film, Rob, is that I don't really like Kevin Costner in this film either. And the older I get, the more ridiculous he seems.
Why have you been giving me such grief about not liking Kevin Costner in this film?
Because I've managed to somehow subdue it within
Doesn't
my
he
own.
have a really strange shaped head?
I feel like his hair is an extraordinary monument to the past.
There's something going on there.
It's a mullet.
That, I don't know. It just grates with me. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm probably revealing myself as, quite a not very nice person. But like,
we know
his face annoys me.
Yeah,
like a sneeze
what?
would annoy me. Just
what
like not. I know Kevin Costner can't help how his hair looks, and I know people can't help having an annoying sneeze, for instance.
Oh, right.
But it doesn't stop I just get like a visceral. Just a spasm of displeasure every time I look at Kevin Costner.
God.
I think that he represents a kind of boorish, mid-American stardom. I don't really get the charisma. He's
got no charisma at all.
I don't really know why he was so famous. We talked very briefly last time about Dances with the Wolves and the sort of the enormous whitewashing job that it does on a very evil period of American history. And I feel like being the over serious, like he's in Issues movies, he's in JFK. Like I find it difficult to take him serious as a hero. But I do think that the one of the strengths of the film is that he's supposed to be quite unlikable. When he's supposed to be sort of an arrogant figure. Maybe not to American audiences, but as I've grown, I feel like the tone of him being set apart from his band of men because he's a nobleman, but he's trying to do the right thing. I can swallow the whole thing, even though I don't particularly.
I don't think the movie's trying to set him up as arrogant at any point. Like, we're supposed to be on his side immediately.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I think there's more to that. I think there is an ambivalence in the film. That the Will Scarlett's criticisms of him are basically, they're completely correct.
What are Will Scarlett's criticisms of him?
His jealousy.
Yeah, that he's a rich man cosplaying.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a film critic. You're talking about a character in the film.
Yeah, Will Scarlett. Yeah, played by Christian.
Oh, Christian Slater's character.
Yeah. Well, Will Scarlett's a really famous member of the Band of Merry Men.
Oh, I've not heard of him. I've heard of Little John Fryetuck and
Much the Miller's Son.
No,
he's in this as well. He was the Artful Dodger in the Oliver Twist movie in the
Bull.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You take the one.
I don't know why I'm blind to it. I can't see. I just enjoyed Kevin Costner. I enjoyed Morgan Freeman. Didn't really like it. Not like I actually know it's rubbish. I was just like, no,
Can we
this.
talk about the accents?
Well, I wanted to ask you about how you felt about that, especially when he lands on it's funny
sometimes
because
it's like he's not even trying to do it.
I don't think
he's not trying to do it. He's never trying to do it.
I don't think he's ever.
I'm home. England. Which is, a choice. It's very strange. No, he's definitely never trying to do it.
He is trying sometimes.
Do you think?
I think right at the beginning of the film, he has said that he was trying and then he just gave up.
He tried. I tell you when he tries, and he gets away with it, is when he's pretending to be like a beggar or a blind man.
Pardon me, sir.
Oh, sir. He can do that. He can do the, camp acting in an English accent, a camp English accent. But just Robin Hood, he can't do it. It doesn't work.
So the photography of the graveside is beautiful.
I've been there, by the way.
The sun's on his face.
It's in Wiltshire. And
now he's awake.
I recreated the frame.
Oh, nice.
I couldn't find the photo. If I can find it, I'll put it on our Patreon.
Whereabouts in Wiltshire is it?
It's not far. From memory, it's like an hour away. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll look it up and let you know. But it's really lovely, old sort of castle-y house that you can walk around.
I don't know if they were
beautiful.
shooting these scenes in the early morning or at a particular time at dusk. But there's a real quality. Obviously, that one's supposed to be
the
morning,
golden hour.
But there's a real quality of. But the mist.
I got up really early this morning, just before sunrise, and on the light, I was like, I should get up at this time every day because holy shit! And it reminded me a lot of some of the shots in that film. Just
Did you get some mist?
There's always low hanging mist sort of around the fields by my house, and the sun was just coming up behind the mist. And there's just fields and some trees poking up ahead on top of the mist.
Were you vowing to avenge your murdered father?
No, I was like, I'm really glad I've managed to get up to get into work on time to do this podcast.
I'm going to go and have a McDonald's.
I'm going to get a McDonald's breakfast as a reward. But I did. It just made me remember. Oh, you should get up at this time and do some walking sometimes because it's great, isn't it?
And then we meet the Sheriff of Nottingham's crone. This is the next scene. Mortiana.
I mean, is she
Geraldine McEwen?
Is she in she's not in the Disney film that I recall, The Witch.
No, I do believe that I'm not sure if there are variations where he has a witch. I can't remember if there are. To be honest, it doesn't seem to be a strong part of the mythology. I think that she's brought in as part of the whole devil worship angle to give it a bit of modern day spice. And I think that she's so fun that I don't mind.
She is fun.
Yes.
The blood and spit and
the best,
it's just
the upside
so
down.
evil.
The best bit is when the Sheriff of Nottingham is just like in her lair, just smashing stuff up and stabbing the thing. Something vexes thee. And they just cut there. It's just a little scene just for a laugh.
I think Robin has just done one of his clever things, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And it's during the bit of the film where the bounty just keeps going up and up and up. All right then, 25,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
So,
Begging your pardon, sir.
in this period of the film, to my mind, this is the film, I can tell you exactly when it explodes into action, but this is the period of the film which is still ramping up. Elements are coming together. We see the witch, we have a fun scene, then we go to the Dubois estate.
Yes.
For Maid Marian, and this is the three of them knock on the door. Only one of them is allowed in, and two funny things happen in this scene. One is that Duncan, the blind Duncan, is talking to Azeem outside. What manner of name is Azeem?
Cornish?
Irish?
Moorish.
Which I never understood. A curse on all Moors. And inside, a joke about the relative attractiveness of women, which is always funny if cinema's taught us anything, which I used to love as a kid. I used to like, so I went to see this so many times at the cinema that there are moments where I remember audience reaction. There's a contentious one later on, but definitely when his little pause on the years have been kind, always used to get a laugh. So banging, well done Hollywood for that. And then fighting a very, very slight woman without realizing at any point that you're fighting a woman until she screams.
Well, it doesn't really matter. She's got a blade. She
seems fine. Why isn't she fighting more later on in the movie?
This is my other complaint. Like, she's very capable. Not my other complaint. Another one of my many complaints.
Next we come to sexism.
She is very capable.
She's great. She's great, and she's funny as well.
She's got a better English accent than Robin.
She's got, everyone seems to have like a degree of charisma in this movie. Again, apart from
Kevin Costner.
Robin Hood.
She is fantastic.
She's very good.
The more I watch the film, the more I enjoy the humour in her performance. Also,
I like how
the life.
Unbothered by the Sheriff of Nottingham she is. Like, she's got power, she's got status, she's got connections to the king.
Yeah.
So she knows she can play the game, and she is playing the game really well.
A bit of politics in it.
Yeah.
It is good.
And they both there's those exchanges. We've got two very good actors, Alan Rickman and I don't know the actor's name.
Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio.
Her.
She's in The Abyss as well, by the way.
I've not seen The Abyss either. Yeah. But them having their little, it reminded me a little bit of when Charles Dance and Olenna Rigg in Game of Thrones have their little. That was when Game of Thrones was at its absolute best.
Yeah.
Olenna Tyrell and oh my God, Olenna. I did say Diana Rigg, right?
Yeah.
Diana Rigg and Charles Dance. That's Tywin Lannister and Olenna Tyrell. Their scenes, amazing.
Bouncing
so good.
off each other.
Yeah, just fantastic.
So that he removes her mask. She's looking at her hand. She's obviously kneed him in the testicles, and he's lying on the floor. And there's just a moment where right at the end of the scene, nicely paced, where she just opens her eyes wide and she realizes what's happened. And that, to me, just tiny touches like that all over her performance. It's very good. Then there's a scene where he has to inform her that, there's the brilliant line from Duncan, point me towards danger, Azeem. I am ready. He's an absolute Weetabix. He's absolutely terrible. I love Duncan so much. And then they're just in the estate. There's sad music playing. And he's talking about Peter, and Peter's sad, and she's he's dead, and she's sad. You can't replace my brother. And then what I like, the sheriff's men are on their way.
Yes.
And there's some cheekiness. There's a slap on the buttocks.
Yes.
There's
Oh, she says.
what I like is there's just slightly more going on here than there is with Kevin Costner in the rest of the movie. The very sardonic, they're stealing my horses, like her forcing him to run away and not be stupid and try and stay and protect her. Hilarity with the telescope.
Come on. That is great.
Come on, Rob.
That is great.
Oh, he can't believe he's seeing them close up. Whoa.
How did you people ever take Jerusalem?
Yes.
Stupid Robin Hood.
Oh,
Trying to get his little sword in them. It's great. That's good stuff.
Is he honestly confused? and
Yes, he's
thinks
never
they're-
seen a telescope before.
yeah, technology is indistinguishable from magic, isn't it? Come
You
on,
know, if you
boy.
show people a television now, they might try and step in it. I mean, from the past, I should specify. I see televisions all the time, and you can't get in them.
And then escape.
Oh, can I just say quickly? Sorry, this is completely off topic. Maybe
No,
I
it's
shouldn't.
all right.
I just saw a TikTok this morning, and it was someone showing a gran GTA 5 footage and saying it was the news.
I've seen this.
It was so good. She was so shocked.
It's the car just slamming into
Yeah,
pedestrians. She's like, oh,
So it's like that. It's like that. Telescope.
the
so
terrifying
awful. Those
thing is-
poor people.
Is that very different from the actual news? That's what I like to know. Then escape. I love the scenes of them just riding over some moors.
Yeah.
Obviously, absolutely nowhere near where they shot the other
The
bits and
horse is
pieces.
shot.
Yes, mine carries two. Yours is lame.
Yes.
So we need to make it to the woods, but the woods are haunted.
Yes, they are.
Duncan doesn't like it.
They're not that. I mean, like, no one seems, considering they're haunted and everyone is terrified.
Yeah.
Robin Hood and the rest are not that bothered, are they? They're
Some
just
great
like-
lines here as well. It's not the woods we fear, sir. It's the evil spirits. Absolute nonsense.
I like
love
all the
I
soldiers.
love a haunted wood, but I like the little bits of British superstition and just gives it like there's a lot of English flavour, a lot of English and British authenticity in it.
Yes.
And I won't say the same thing that I've been saying all over again.
Okay.
But
Except I will, and it's this.
there's another element in the film that contrasts, isn't it?
What about Guy of Gisborne's horrible taunting as he realises that he can't follow them into the woods?
Oh yeah,
Robin of the Hood.
Yeah.
Your father died, cursing your name and squealing like a stuck pig.
Yeah.
very
Not
evil,
nice.
He's so evil.
very evil.
What a horrible man.
Yeah,
And
he
it
is.
turns out that Robin solves the mystery of the woods in a few moments.
Yeah. It's
Wind
just some
chimes.
sticks, lads. Come on.
Exactly. But what else is in the woods?
The river and the merry men.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, do you know we talk about movies where there's just good bits and then good bits and good bits?
Yes.
This is one of the
On to
really
the next good bit.
I love this good
This
bit.
is a great bit.
This is such a good bit.
It is.
They have sticks. This is a pillar of Robin Hood lore. The staff fight. Where he's first introduced to Little John.
Yeah.
Come on, Rob. What did you think of Little John? Inexplicably from Taunton.
Is he?
I don't know where he's from, but he's West Country, and his wife is even more West Country.
I really like Little John. I really like
you're
Fanny.
right.
I really liked all of this band of people.
Yeah.
I just like the respect that Little John has for this
Plucky.
plucky outsider. Is not like they're not like a horrible band of bandits and cutthroats.
They're just
They've
lads.
got morals.
Yeah.
They've got a sense of honour amongst them.
It does.
And despite the fact that Little John probably beats Robin Hood in this fight,
He does.
a few
definitely.
times, he likes the fact that Robin Hood didn't give up.
Yeah.
And he had the gall to just sneak up on him out of the river and smack him in the balls with his stick.
There's a perfectly judged moment when I just can't help smiling almost to tears whenever I see this whole scene. I used to love this scene when I was a kid. But the moment where he thinks Robin is dead, just for a second. And he's a bit sad, but he also doesn't really mind. It's a bloody shame. And then
Brave
he's like,
lad.
but I have got this gold medallion. This is
Yeah.
great.
It was the first time watching the movie that I realised that he's like, I can't swim. Do you yield? I can't swim. And then he's like, yes, I yield. And then he's like, just put your feet down. It's like, so he realises like, oh, I didn't need to swim the whole time.
Ah, you scallywag. And he enjoys the joke.
He does.
He enjoys that he's been pranked.
Yeah.
Come on, then. You're all right. You come round the fire. Have
great.
some mead with us. It's my own brew.
And
Yeah.
they do. I also, something I say all the time is when I think we've probably said it on streams for work, but Azeem's advice: get up,
Yes.
move faster.
I really like their relationship here. There's a lot of this, I think. I think we might have seen a bit of this already, but I'd like just Azeem being annoyed at Robin and just being like, oh, come on, and just sort of, not helping, just perfectly judging the amount of peril he's actually in.
I fulfill my vows when I choose.
Exactly. I really enjoy that as well. I like that, he's on a sort of life debt vow thing, but it isn't just like, I've just got to save you. I just anything.
Yeah,
I'll just try any time. I'm going to help you. Obviously they do build a real friendship, but also that he is like, well, I am going to pray now. Like I'm not like, I'm a free man. I'm choosing to do this. I'm not going to just like at all costs save your life. But
also one of the best quotes which I've put in a big box in my notes is bollocks. It's one of the greatest cries of bollocks in cinema. Thank you to Little John. We see a little bit of Will Scarlet when he hears his name, which somehow in the noise of the river, even though Will Scarlet is on the edge of the river, what's your name, lad? Robin and Loxley. And Will Scarlet's like, ooh.
Yeah, what did he say? He looks a bit like me. What did he say?
Yeah, just a shot.
Do you think Christian Slater auditioned for the role of Robin Hood and they were like, I'm sorry, Kevin Costner's going to be Robin Hood, but you're all really good, Christian Slater. You can be Robin Hood's brother.
I think that he is just young enough to have been the Will Scarlet type. I can imagine he slots into the whole, we need one actor of colour, we need one boring leading white guy who's around 40, and we need like a young up-and-comer with some anger. And I feel like these are...
Was he really? Was he around 40?
Yeah, he's like late 30s, I think, at this point.
So how is he still here? How
he's
old
in
is
his
he now?
70s making
I
westerns.
think Kevin Costner's been about 45 forever.
So then we get the lads' treeside hangout with the fire, cock jokes.
Yeah.
The whole thing is going on here. Who wouldn't want to be part of this merry band of
Free men.
Literally only men
Yes.
who live, because they've all had to escape
No,
They're outlaws.
their families.
Fanny's there.
It did.
No, not yet.
Is she not?
No, not yet. It did reek a little bit of like, I'm sorry, obviously I'm an outlaw now. Me and the guys are going to have to go and live in the woods. But
yeah, exactly.
it's rubbish, isn't it? You stay here. You stay here and look after the family.
You've got 7 children.
We will be in the
What's
woods and
going
we'll
on?
be coming up with a plan, and we'll probably just drink some mead while we think of it. But it is sad. We are all sad. It's not stag do.
No.
It's not lads hanging out in the woods camping and drinking.
We'll rob some people.
We'll get some money whilst we're there. We'll figure it out, honestly.
One of the most spectacular performances in the entire film is in the morning when they wake up. A man behind Robin stretches.
Oh,
have you?
I didn't see that.
Oh, rewatch this scene. The stretch is extraordinary. Oh, you can hear it. It's like it goes on for ages. It's amazing.
I love a good stretch.
Something I say all the time, because we cut to church services. Do they still give alms to the poor?
Yes.
Duncan? Yes.
I remembered that line from the Disney film. There's like a little...
Oh, alms to the poor.
Alms for the poor.
Alms for the poor.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I was, why did they want arms?
Yeah.
Why do the poor want arms?
They should give them money.
And there's
That's
a bit
so
where the
cool.
Sheriff of Nottingham in the Disney movie like throws a coin in her pot, and
Yes.
it throws up all the other coins that are
yeah.
already in there, and he takes them.
Yeah.
And I just thought, what an evil guy.
An
What a
evil
great little
lion.
Evil lion dog
Evil
thing.
lion.
Yeah.
So in this, Marian and her handmaiden Sarah are walking to, and the thing which I say, like I said, there's probably about 10 things from this film which are just baked into my everyday vocabulary, and this one is, that's all I have. I don't know why. It's when she runs out of money, that's what she says to all the poor people. That's all I have. And also, I see the boy I knew in the man before me.
Yes.
Which I think every time I see one of Jay's old football team now in their 20s, that's what I think. I see the boy. I don't say it.
No.
That would be fucking weird.
Yes, don't say it. Every time I see the bishop, I think he might do something good, and he never does.
He never does.
He's just bad.
He's in on the racket.
He's just evil,
the
yeah.
church is so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, this is where I was gonna, building up to when the film bursts into life, and it's here. Robin, for some reason, decides to go. I guess he wants to talk to the priest to hear what he has to say about his father, because his father has been accused of being a devil worshipper.
I didn't really get this story before, and I enjoyed it this time. Just my father's not a devil worshipper, and he tries to sort of clear his name and goes to the source and you were there for the interrogation. What did he say? You're a liar.
And he begins to distrust the framework of the church, and his plan is to cover himself in shit and go to the church. So
why do all your plans start with this?
Lads, I'm going to cover myself in shit.
Not again, Robin. So he's about to be recognised, right? And then just the smell of shit overwhelms the guard. He's like, you're not Robin Hood.
No, exactly. It's not worth my time.
Smell.
I don't even want to know.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It kicks off when when he opens the door and the sheriff of Nottingham is there.
Yes.
The first thing he does, slash, I'm going to cut his face.
Yeah.
And
horrible move. Horrible thing to do.
Really nasty.
Yeah.
And Rickman reels and just screams.
Yeah.
He's so angry.
It's so good.
It's fucking brilliant. And then Robin runs back into the room, doesn't know where to go. There's an escape in the ceiling. So he cuts the rope, the chandelier comes down, up he goes. And it's the slapstick of Rickman running through the courtyard, slapping people out of the way, screaming at everybody, while Robin Hood takes a bag of bread, knocks a man 10 feet into the air, steals the sheriff's own horse. The music is going wild.
Yeah.
He jumps over several carts of vegetables and escapes, and the sheriff beats the crap out of a guard, trips over his own cape.
Yeah,
and the music,
the music.
He picks him up again after he's beaten him up and gives him one more punch.
Yeah,
and then the film is alight.
Yes,
that's what a scene that is. Every time I rewatch this and I've maybe lost my sense of whether I like this film, I'm like, oh my god, this is cinema.
Where's the scene where he's like, is this when he says, "I'll cut out your heart with a spoon"?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
and
so
then
great when they come back.
Yeah, the next scene.
Why a spoon?
Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more. That's maybe the best line he says, I think, in the whole thing.
I just love that they just cut back to it later. Why a spoon, cousin? They've just been thinking about it for ages.
I just like the fact that they've just obviously been talking about it as well. I will cut his heart out with a spoon because I'm going to do that. Why
you said that earlier. Yeah. Why a spoon?
Why a spoon?
I feel like actually Guy of Gisborne's just been thinking about it since.
Yeah.
Like, why a spoon?
Why do you say that? Yeah.
Yes, I'll cut your heart out with a spoon. Robin Hood goes back to the woods. This is why I think there's shade in his character, light and shade, because even Azeem is saying, these people aren't warriors, they're not soldiers, they're just people. Why are you trying to turn them into a freedom force?
And he has decided for them.
Make sure you're not doing this for your own ends.
He's pissed off the sheriff. He is just creating trouble, and it is his decision. He's not like, maybe it's for the good of the people, but they haven't agreed to it or anything. It's like, well, now we're in the shit.
And he jumps on a tree and
he does. It's a great tree.
Lectures everybody.
That one's been cut down too, but maybe by nature.
But yeah, that one's fine. And there's a man who memorably says, "But we ain't got nothing to eat." But what can we eat that the forest cannot provide?
Yes, exactly. Well, I don't know, cheeseburgers.
We're just eating fucking leaves.
Loads of good stuff. Bread.
Then we get a montage.
What a montage!
It's very quick.
Come on.
Very quick. They go from being rubbish at bow and arrow to really good at
He
bow
only takes
and arrow.
2 shots, yeah.
Azeem is telling people how to sword fight.
I've got like the song from Team America in my head at this point.
Yeah, the montage song.
Well, if you want to ruin the film for yourself,
the shot very specifically that lives in my memory forever. I think I talked about this before about wanting a treehouse, and it's just where there's in that montage they lift up, they raise up one of the rope bridges, and I was just like, I just want this stuff. So good, pulleys, a pulley system, and all the little things they have, like the rope that lets them get down to the ground
isn't it? It's
softly.
Just boys in the woods,
it's just
having
the
a
best.
great time.
Just an
this is why I love this film.
Yeah,
like being able to shoot a bow and arrow seemed unbelievably cool to me when I was 10 years old.
It's cool.
Living in the trees
with all of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's the beautiful Hollywood version of it.
It is, yeah,
and it's so exciting to just think of doing that.
Something else I noticed in watching it this time is Robin Hood is probably most famously an archer, and you don't see him use a bow and arrow for quite a long time in this movie, and it's not like spoken about really.
He uses a crossbow, doesn't he, at the wall?
Yeah, he
at the
uses a
beginning.
crossbow, but considering it's like he's put all his points into
Skill
archery,
points in archery, yeah.
and he is amazing. We see that several times. It's just quite funny that you don't see it until quite late on.
They don't make a big deal of it.
Don't
I guess the legend is speaking for itself. But you do see, I think he splits an arrow.
You get that first cool arrow shot. I think there are about
POV
4
arrow shot.
There are 4 very cool arrow shots. The kill cam.
Yeah,
and this is the first one. Yeah, I think the montage ends with the splitting of the arrow.
Yeah, he's got that line. Even a child can be taught to find the chinks of armor. Chinks in a suit of armor ball. And I was even as a kid, I was like, can they?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a child. I'm not sure we can. And then we get the something vexes the scene because he is vexed because Robin is winning. And then very quickly we get probably the best line in the movie, perhaps in Western cinema, which is they're giving back to the poor at this point. There's some horrible bits and pieces, like what they did to my son.
Yeah,
you get all of that. Business is all very sad, but you get a very, very happy man when
he's got some bread or something.
Yeah, Little John's wife, Fanny, is giving bits of food to the poor. And he says, "God bless you, Fanny."
Yeah.
And God bless Robin Hood.
That's great. And he skips back to his house, humming to himself. What a great day. Yeah, to be burned, yes.
So Robin has caused some real strife. All the burning scenes really do upset me.
Yeah.
And then we get more escalating Alan Rickman, who's now calling off Christmas.
Yeah.
What is Christmas like in England in these days?
I think maybe there was a bit of, like a little bit of something. Maybe just a nice church service that the poor could go to and you get some extra alms.
Not doing that. No alms at Christmas. No.
Yeah.
What was it? Cancel scraps for beggars.
and
orphans. Orphans and beggars have their scraps cancelled.
Yes. And lepers. I think lepers were in there.
So he does have a policy where he gives leftover scraps of food to orphans and beggars.
Well, there is a policy, whether it's his. He's cancelled it. I think he might have inherited the policy and just gone, what are we doing that for? Well, cancel that.
One of the...
What was it he says at some point? It's like, so Robin Hood does all these things forcing me to hurt them.
And they love him for it.
Yeah. Well, he's... yes. I love him.
So I think the rhythm, when you ask if this is a good film, I think that the rhythm of it's a long film, but there's a real pacing to it.
There is.
Once it starts, once the touch paper is lit and the houses of the poor are on fire, it's rollicking good fun, is what I would say. And Rickman, they keep bouncing back to him. They keep giving him these scenes with like this brilliant sort of camp villain energy. And then back to just cool stuff happening. And I just wanted to, like I've said, I wanted to live in the woods. The robbery of, I think it's the Friar Tuck robbery, where Gisborne loses loads of money.
Yeah.
And then Gisborne is shockingly killed by his own cousin.
Yeah.
But the little traps, so like Bull runs around the corner and like I used to fucking love
Me
that
too.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was like Mission Impossible for
And
kids who
they got
played
the
outside.
whole like bits of foliage being held up and
Very
then
unrealistic.
and then they just drop them and then do all of their mischief and immediately hide again.
So good, just disappearing.
The bit where he kills Guy of Gisborne, I do enjoy, and there must be a trope of this where you know the main villain is about to kill his subordinate. Come here.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. And he's like, at least I didn't use a spoon.
I didn't use a spoon.
Good steal. Everyone's just sort of looking, and then they just sort of get on with their jobs. They're like, well, I'm not... He's still alive. It's right. He's down there going,
I think it's written well. Obviously, it's performed on another level. But he's got... And the reason you know he's going to kill him is because the whole time he's just distractedly looking at something else.
Yes.
He's
so... I feel so sorry for him.
I really tried.
He's like, did many losses? He was like, quite bad losses. He was like, well, all of it in truth.
Robin Hood. They were woodsmen.
Yes. Yeah.
Robin
Okay.
Hood.
Yeah. Come here.
It's undefeated. It's why it's the best film of 1991. I also love the next scene which is Much the Miller's Son and Bull trying to rob Marian and her handmaiden.
Yeah.
You take the one on the left. Which one's the one on the left?
Yeah.
Next to the one
And he
on the
holds up his right hand, which is just such good.
Would you jump out and grab him?
Yeah.
And then I like there's like repartee between them and
It's great.
Sarah also.
When they're walking down to the...
Oh,
Don't go down there. Oh, don't look at that. Oh, Matt. Oh.
Oh, this is when she sees sexy Kevin Costner
Yeah, exactly.
swimming naked
It's when we
in
all
the
see
pool.
it. It's when we all see it.
It's just this just made me laugh. Right? He's just not very sexy, is he? He just gets out like a dad getting out of the shower, and it cuts to made Marian's face. Oh, she's really liking it. Soft focus on her face.
I know.
Oh, I can't resist.
Well, but I think Marian likes Robin for who he is, not just for his looks.
The idea that they're supposed to be the same age is a stretch as well, isn't it?
Are they supposed to be the same age?
I guess maybe he's older and that's why he bullied her.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Spoilt bully. He used to burn my hair.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed just that chat from the not A-listers.
yes,
You know, it was
No,
great.
good.
They're so good.
It feels quite improvised. It feels like, the scene, and you don't want them to see, and you do want to see, and you just imagine Kevin Costner's down there and he's naked, and imagine he's sexy. Off you go.
We would jump
That's
by
the
like
scene.
8, 12,
Yeah.
15 large men.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Again, the location is extraordinary. I don't know where that is, but I'd like to go swimming there.
Yes.
With my dad bod.
Yeah.
We should do.
You could get your wife to stand and look at you.
We should got to be a
recreate.
skit. I want to do that as a Friday feature skit or something.
Then, just amazing woods hangout time.
Yeah.
We've skipped over how brilliant Michael McShane is.
We really have, because
as
he is brilliant.
Friar Tuck. I understood about half of the stuff he said when I was a kid.
Yeah.
His intonation is extraordinary. I mistook you for a common thieves. I don't know what his accent's supposed to be doing. He loves beer.
Yes.
He's an angry, passionate man. He seems to hate them all,
Yeah.
and then he's there administering to them.
He made me want to be drunk.
Yes.
Like I want to be drunk like Friar
Make him
Tuck.
drinking cool.
Oh.
But I like the way they're sort of like the Merry Men. They have a test of, can you join us? And you got to have some balls.
Yeah.
You got to have a no nonsense attitude.
literally.
And they ask, like Robin asks him, do you yield?
Yeah.
And he gives a little smile. Then he says something along the lines
I'd
of,
rather burn in hell.
yes, I'd rather rot in hell. I think he
yeah,
says.
right, yeah.
Or roast. He says roast.
Yes.
I'd rather roast in hell.
Bit of colour.
And everyone like, okay, he's kicked Robin Hood in the face as well. Would you like to come and be our priest?
Yeah.
I didn't realise for a long time as well that his cart is just full of beer. That the barrels are all just full of beer.
And that's what friars used to do.
Yeah.
They used to just make fucking beer all
And he's
the
there
time.
teaching his sheep, his people,
Yeah.
about wheat.
Yes.
The
So
bounty
good.
of
Grain.
wheat and how it's meant to be consumed.
A
Yeah.
more
As
divine
beer.
purpose,
Yes.
manner of consumption. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us talk about beer. Let us learn about beer.
Beer's
rather.
great, isn't it?
So
It
there's
is.
that whole scene, and this is where you really get the glamour shots of the hangout, the base, the secret, somehow hidden base, and
Yeah.
now it's up and running fully. There's walkways, like you said, Dave. There's some kind of gently descending
Rope
escalator
system.
There's a water system which just seems to put cups of water into a bit of wood that then goes back down.
Yes.
But it's working.
Just about.
It works.
Yeah.
Of course.
They've got a treasure room.
They do have a treasure room.
And I was wondering exactly what the plan is, because I guess obviously steal from the rich and give to the poor.
Yeah.
And I get that. But it's almost like, it's like, where did you get that gold medallion from that you're trying to buy this bread with?
Well, there's also
Pauper.
it is also a weird little reverse where she obviously thinks, you bring here to boast. And he's like, of course not. But it's also like, well, you have set up this entire room. It's just overflowing with very nicely set out bits of gold and treasure.
There was a sign on the door that said Robin's throne room. I
Yeah,
don't know if
exactly.
that's...
King
I was
Robin
meant to
lives
see that.
here.
Yeah.
Also, like, they have taken from the rich, but as yet, none of that has been redistributed to the poor.
No.
It's resting in his account.
Yeah, I mean, they are now technically the rich.
Resting in my account.
They're
There he
the
is,
rich now.
Resting in his account. Yeah.
Taken from the rich and became rich.
Yeah. That
Although part of it, that's what I was going to say, is that part of it is just stopping the sheriff from having
This is
the
blood
money
Marian.
to be able to
To recruit
pay
the barons,
and whatever.
This
It's
is
like,
a weird bit where, like, he says to Marian, "You thought I was keeping it all, didn't you?"
yeah, it's like
It's literally behind you, mate.
Yeah.
You are.
yeah, I'm not keeping it. It's,
But we have seen
it's
him,
everyone's
we've
money.
seen
It's
him
just here.
distributing it.
If anyone
before
wants to
this.
come and get it, they can get it right here.
Yeah,
if they can
exactly.
find it and they can
Crucially,
Come
Marian
over.
makes the offering of the dagger.
yeah.
she does.
Very crucially.
And then she acts wonderfully awkward and nervous before she leaves, and she says, "Cheers,"
Yes,
which I always thought was very attractive.
It
Right,
is.
right? Yeah.
it is. And those little
Really
things, like you said, you can see throughout the movie as she grows fond of Robin. It's really nice.
Then they sit down and have a chat about their future. A bit later, that might be after the birth scene. I really like the religious coming together over. Fanny is having a child, but the child hasn't turned, and Azeem's got a plan, which is to invent cesarean births.
Yes,
I believe.
Well, you've seen it done on
He's
horses.
seen it before with horses.
Yes.
And Freitag is furious and a bit racist. But at the end, they
He apologises and he realises the error of his ways.
There's a few bits of this in the movie. There's a couple of times where people basically apologise to Azeem for being racist.
Yeah.
But I really like it.
Also, the little girl. Did God paint you?
Yeah.
It was always one of my favourite lines as a kid. Because Allah loves wondrous variety.
Yeah.
What a message
Yeah.
to have in a definitely racist film. But I think it shows...
I don't know if it's a racist film.
No, I'm being flippant, and I do think that there's a difference between things that we would now consider not okay, like the dungeon at the beginning just being full of swarthy, non-European looking types, and it's like, yeah, these guys are like the bad Arabs, and Morgan Freeman just being cast as a Moor, sure, that's fine, that's close enough, and the actual message of the film being, don't be like Duncan, don't be like Freitag.
Yeah.
Never judge people by their...
Yeah. But both those
Creed and
characters,
colour.
well,
Both
that's
those
the message. Both
characters
those
are-
characters realise the error of their ways.
And there's a nice Freitag offers to have a drink with Azeem, and Azeem says, "Oh, I don't drink," and Freitag responds with quite a nice line. I thought, well, you do the talking and I'll do the drinking.
Yeah.
Very nice. I thought.
You talk, I'll drink. It's beautiful. And then, yes, Robin and Marian have a nice chat about their future and everything they're going to do. And in the morning, he sends Duncan away, and he asks her he asks for two things. Please take Duncan away. He's really pissing me off.
Yeah.
Bumping into stuff. He's a fucking idiot. And number two is try and get word to your cousin Richard, which is a terrible idea.
It really is. And, at least give some, like, how is she going to do that? Maybe, he probably knows, like, how she's going to try and do that. And maybe he'd say, like, oh, by the way, did I mention that I think all these people are bad?
Yes.
Don't trust any of them.
And that's exactly what she does.
Yeah.
And it's terrible for her. And also they're horrible men who come into her room and
Yeah.
try and
I do not remember the line about
breasts. I don't think it's in the TV version.
I don't remember ever. Well, I had
never
the
seen the
Cypriot
breasts of
cinema
another
version, so
Right. Maybe the Cypriots weren't into that. I don't know. You'd think her arrest would be more cordial.
Well, yeah. As they are pointing out, she's like a noble woman, and she's a wealthy and powerful woman,
Yeah.
and she's due to. Well, she doesn't know yet, but she's going to be married to the sheriff.
I think her cat's called Nicodemus,
Yes, he is.
which I like.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know who Nicodemus is though. Is it a famous?
Nicodemus and Pliers.
Pardon?
So Nicodemus and Pliers is like a musical outfit from the 90s.
Oh,
So-
right.
No one else knows what I'm talking about.
There'll be a couple of people who are listening.
I thought you were describing a brand of pliers then. Oh, it's Nicodemus pliers. They're really the
Just gonna
best
go
pliers you can get.
B&Q. Have you got any Nicodemus?
Yeah, I don't want Nicodemus really.
It's better than Black and Decker. I don't want that.
Yeah, I've used
Nicodemus,
them.
please.
They only lasted a couple of weeks, but I've got a lot of plying to do.
Is that the verb for using pliers?
It's Shakademus and Pliers. Oh. Obviously, as a kid, I was like, Nicodemus and Pliers.
Nicodemus.
So what is Nicodemus?
Well, I want to tell you that Shakademus and Pliers made the song "Tease Me," which you may remember.
I'm sure I do. Tease me.
I think it's
Tease me, baby.
Something like that.
When I lose control.
We can sort of guess. Yeah, it's around there.
We should make a musical act called Nicodemus and Pliers. Nicodemus is a New Testament figure venerated as a saint in a number of Christian traditions. Born
That makes more sense.
Judea, died Judea.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's from the New Testament.
Yeah, from the New Testament.
Because she's a God-fearing woman.
Because she's a proper Christian.
So what are the pliers? Shakademus.
That's Shakademus. That's a different cat
and
altogether.
Pliers. Yeah. Those are our other cats. They're out. That's fine. It's so funny that there is a cat scaring her, but also a house full of like Norman soldiers.
Yeah, no wonder the cat was scared. He's like, God, there's lots of men in here.
There seems to be one recurring, especially unpleasant. I think he's in every scene.
Yeah.
Unless the nose piece of their helmet just makes it look like the same person. But there with the dogs at the beginning, I think maybe even the person who gets a crossbow to the face.
Yeah.
The person who leers over Marian. And the person who, when they go to rescue everybody in the scene we'll discuss shortly, tells Robin to get out of here because he's, oh my God, you stink.
Yeah.
I think it's the same horrible man doing fantastic work.
He is, yeah.
I forgot the line earlier on where she said to him, do something for me, take a bath. And then when she sees him being sexy, she's like, what are you doing? He's like, I was taking your advice. Just a little callback.
It's fantastic. See, this is why it's such a good film. Though.
I've had more fun talking about it than I did watching it.
Well,
It's a shame.
and the next time you watch it at Christmas, whenever.
I won't watch it again.
Well, Nate's got the 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah,
so
I do. It's arriving tomorrow.
If you want to borrow it anytime.
There was a sale, an Arrow Movies sale. I've got the 4K Blu-rays of this and Dune.
Does it come with, must come with like behind the scenes, a whole bunch of
There's
stuff?
12 minutes of extra scenes, which I'm
12
not sure
minutes of extra
I've
scenes?
ever seen before.
Wow.
So I'm excited.
That's quite cool.
I think most of them are to do with the Mortiana. And
Have you watched like bonus material around Robin Hood
I never
before?
have. No.
Oh.
I never. I just, like I said, I read the book when I was a kid over and over and over again.
Yeah. Well, that kind of stuff didn't really exist back then, like bonus material that you now get as standard
I had
on.
the VHS, and I probably decided I was too cool for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves by the time DVD started coming out.
Yeah.
How wrong I was.
Definitely. You weren't cool at all.
No, I was extremely cool, but the movie is even...
Listening to Nicodemus and Pliers.
Oh, that's so good that I got that completely wrong. So, Duncan, poor old fool, led them straight to us. Warning arrows are a thing now, we learned. The technology
Really
in
like
Sherwood
them.
Forest is
Really like warning
quite
arrows.
dangerous.
Yeah, I know. I did think...
And not necessarily better than just shouting.
I thought, the first warning arrow, I thought, well, great, a warning arrow. But then there's like three
And they
around. I'm
land
like, what's
right-
going on? Has someone nicked the art? As a bad person nicked the bow.
Yeah.
And speaking of racism, which we have been, does the Celts get a bad rap
Oh
here?
my God.
Everyone's like, yeah, but the Celts are bad.
Hire the Scottish people.
I mean, it's not just that. It's
Come down.
what is it? What is it? Turn to the folk who share our God. It's
Yes.
like they're devil. They're just saying that all Scottish people are devil worshippers, which is correct.
Yeah. What does he say? Oh, they drink the blood of their dead.
Yeah, and then he's like, brilliant. Also, at the beginning of that scene, he's like, Robin, who has taken the goal, there was to pay the barons. No one understands my predicament.
Yes.
And her thing is, go and get the Celts, and he's like, hired thugs. It's
Yeah,
like,
I know.
How is this the solution?
Yeah. Well, they're cheap. They're really cheap. They
It's
just like
nuts.
fighting.
So Duncan leads them to Sherwood Forest, and the cool treetop hangout is burned.
To be
That's
fair,
the bit where Duncan, he heroically escapes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he goes on his horse. He's like, I need your eyes, friend.
I was going to say, to be fair, this plan, and I assume it is a plan because the soldiers are waiting for Duncan to leave,
Yes.
It's a
is
good plan.
the worst plan I've ever heard, and I can't believe it pays off. It's like, we'll wait for the blind man to lead us back.
Well, do you know what?
He's like a cat, though, isn't he? He can just,
Well, like you
feel
said,
his way there.
it's actually the horse that
I
does
was
all the
going to say,
work.
they could have just got on the horse.
Yeah, exactly.
and
Lend
gone,
me your eyes. We'll only do it for Duncan, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Duncan smells right. I've written capture, attack, action.
Yeah, I mean it's a great a battle of two halves, because you get the Celts coming in and they're no match for the merry men. They're too well trained.
Yeah,
they've got a plan. They've got the high ground.
I think we talk about storytelling through action, and I think that this is very well done. I really enjoy this. I don't think I'm being blinkered. Like I've said, I do appreciate some of my views on this film are to do with the fondness I've had for it historically. But I think that this is, there are some shots of Robin clearly shooting arrows from a horse, but I don't think you ever see a wide shot of him on the horse. So it just looks like he's roller skating while shooting his bow and arrow. But apart from that, I think that in general, the storytelling of, they're surprised and horrified and the Celts are very scary. They gradually retreat. There's that great line of Bulls, "To the trees!"
Yeah.
Which again is much quoted. Whenever I need to go to a tree, I say that line. And then you see them organising themselves, and the rows of and the music is telling the story, probably quite didactically, but and as they get more and more organised, you see rows of people shooting arrows. It's incredibly satisfying. The Celts run away. There's a small cheer, but you know that.
Felt like, well, I'm sure it's just how people portray archers in movies, but a few shots where I was like, Peter Jackson's seen this, and there were a few shots at Helm's Deep with just a rabble of people on the wall of Helm's Deep, like very satisfyingly shooting off arrows in unison.
Yeah,
and this reminded me a lot of that.
And the edit to the impact of people falling over backwards. Wolf, the boy shooting people, he's a great shot. What a plucky little fighter.
If I did want to criticise this scene, I've just realised that you could just not do the Celts as in just purely if it was real. It's like, why did you hire those useless thugs when we got these just flaming arrows everyone's terrified of?
Did they hire the thugs to get everyone into the trees so they could then burn them?
Great point, Rob. You've solved it. You've solved it. That works.
It's also got the battlefield kind of storytelling of Azeem. It's like video game logic. It's, you know what I mean, like the captains see each other across the battlefield. It's like, I've got to take out that named character.
Yes.
And I'm going to go over there with my big sword and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Azeem's great, isn't he?
He's really good.
The shot, there's like a hush, and I think I probably remember this from the cinema. There's a hush when the row of, I'm going to call them Normans because their dress seems very Norman to me. Norman soldiers lining up with their flame arrows, and Robin says, "My God!"
Yeah,
and you realise what's going to happen, and all you hear is the kind of the hiss of the flames, and then the whoosh of the arrows being let go. And I think in the cinema, the audio of that really impressed itself upon me. That shot is definitely just in a field somewhere. If you look closely at it, it's definitely not in the woods or anywhere.
Right.
It was shot at a completely different time of day, and they used the shot 3 or 4 times, and it's never in the woods. But it doesn't matter because the film is the best film ever made.
Yeah.
And
I didn't notice, so they sold me on that.
So things start to go very badly wrong, and everything is burning, and the merry men. Luckily, Robin saves Fanny.
Yes.
I always wondered why John tied a log to the rope before sending it back.
Yes,
but it's so that the rope has the weight.
It's so it gets there. Yeah. I would have just tried without, and then it would have just floppily not got anywhere. Yeah. Oh, I should have tied a log on.
I definitely felt like Fanny or Little John was going to die in this scene. There was a few shots like, oh my God, they're about to die.
Of course, you've not seen it,
and they just didn't.
No,
they survived.
How excited were you at this point?
Were you cheering when? Yeah,
I was at warp speed 4 with my excitement.
What were your feelings on Will Scarlet at this point? Do you know,
I thought he was definitely going to be a traitor, and there was going to be no redemption for him. As soon as he started fooling out with Robin Hood, I was like, he's gonna betray Robin Hood to the sheriff.
What's this guy's problem?
Well, also, I was going to say, in terms of Rob saying that he doesn't think there's supposed to be any ambiguity in the character of Robin Hood, when Will Scarlet has just settled down, he's been shot in the hand, he's settled down, he's part of the merry men, he's doing his job, they're having a nice party, and he's very, very respectfully asks Marian for a dance. As soon as he fucking does, Robin's like, the lady's taken. Fuck you, buddy. And then he's just like, way to make me feel shit, man. That's poor leadership at the very best. Yeah. So I do think the movie is like, there's a little bit of, every time I watch that, I think, you fucking prick. I don't know what you thought at that moment.
Well, I didn't enjoy it from Robin Hood, but I didn't think, just knowing how that kind of character is portrayed in cinema. I didn't feel like the movie was trying to say, look at this dickhead. I felt it was like, basically it was like, fuck you, Christian Slater. I felt like what that scene was trying to say.
Yeah.
Like this guy, he's trying to get in there. Everyone knows Robin Hood and Maid Marian are supposed to be. This guy's asking Maid Marian for a dance.
Yeah.
That's what the audience is thinking, not, oh, how rude of Kevin Costner.
The plan of the Sheriff of Nottingham is to marry the king's cousin, to force her to have a child, then put that child on the throne. Meanwhile, shoring up his power by getting Will Scarlet to betray Robin Hood.
What weird rules, by the way? Isn't that weird that that's just like a thing that would work? Like, oh yeah, well the thing is, I married your cousin and we had a child, so now they're the kin.
Yeah.
So that's the rules.
There's a very harrowing line that he says to Marian to force her to marry him, where he's like, these children, if we get married, these children will grow up as my allies.
Yes.
Please don't make them grow up as I won't allow them to grow up as my enemies.
Yeah.
It's a really great way to say, marry me or I'll kill these children.
Yeah.
I have no choice. And then she runs, a brilliant shot of her running down a really long castle corridor.
Yeah. Yeah.
She says.
Yes.
There's a little
Is that
shot.
what it says? That's from the novelisation.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said Marian.
There's a little shot of Sarah, so you know that.
Why is Marian laughing?
That blow on the back of Sarah's head, was not fatal. Even though it's pretty brutal.
I was certain when she got hit that she was dead. But then she comes back.
Also, was that guy? It must have picked her up, put her on the back of a horse. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She's still alive and very sad. Little shot of her looking up at Marian.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be very bad, but it turns out Robin's alive, comes out of the mist, Jesus style.
Yeah.
in Sherwood
There's
Forest.
And there's only 6 people left.
they use a Brocken Spectre here.
Whoa.
Do you know what a Brocken Spectre is?
I don't.
No.
It's like a visual illusion when a light source hits you and your shadow is cast on
In
fog.
forwards,
and
yeah.
a lot of ghost stories from the mountains originate from people seeing Brocken spectres of themselves when they're walking in misty conditions and the sun comes up behind them and a
see their own
huge shadow
shadow
of yourself gets projected onto the fog.
That's cool.
I like
And
that.
that's what they used here.
So there's a moment of. I always remember the first time I saw this film, and I didn't know if Will Scarlet was going to succeed in his mission to kill Robin, and the joy I felt at Little John sprinting from off screen, traitor,
Yeah.
and taking him out, and then seeing all the horrible scars on his body, and that being enough to convince them.
Yeah.
And then the revelation that the 2 American stars are actually
Related.
related to
Well, that
each
explains your accents.
other. Yeah. Yeah.
And they do look quite similar.
That was quite a good bit, I thought. I was genuinely surprised by Christian Slater having like a little bit of a redemption arc there, and Robin Hood's just embrace of him as a brother, and Christian Slater, Will Scarlet being like, oh yes, okay,
I have a brother.
I am brother of Robin Hood. He's accepted me.
And then they basically a heist to rescue everybody who's going to be executed.
Yes.
Complete with a little model of Nottingham Castle made of sticks.
And Azeem's got some gunpowder from somewhere.
He does.
He's not used it the whole time. The whole time.
Yeah, well, he's been living in a tree, to be fair.
That's true.
so-
Yeah, it's not ideal. He's actually got quite a lot of gunpowder. It turns out, like really loads. I don't know where.
That's true.
Where it looks like one barrel, but then it turns out there are maybe 500 barrels.
There's a bit of Orientalism here in terms of he's got a telescope and he can do medicine and also, yes, he can invent gunpowder and make it from leaves.
Yeah.
I like the banter between Little John and Sue. You should be bloody well looking after the other 7. Tell her, Rob. Fanny, you'll be positioned here. And that is where she is. They don't really go through the plan, but everyone seems to know what they're doing. And I love the plan, just up and down.
It's just a classic little heist. I love everyone getting into position. I love Little John trying to look nonchalant at the bottom of the bottom of the wall. They love Fanny talking to that guy.
When he
"All right,
gets
my lover.
Oh, that's
Or
brilliant.
whatever.
He gets at the top. All right, my lover. I really enjoyed that.
There's also just, they're in stealth mode at this point, and he simply launches a guard over the wall.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's going to be fine.
That's
hidden.
video game rules for that's fine. Stealth takedown, push on the side of a wall.
Yeah.
You out of sight, out
He's
of mind.
He's out of the mission area.
He's gone.
It's
Yeah.
where
He's disappeared.
So you can't see him. Azeem is dressed up as a leper.
Yes.
There's lots of jumping into off high places into hay bales as well.
Oh yes.
Did you see, sorry, when Azeem being a leper, the guy, there's a soldier who like touches him or something. He's like, oh, sorry, don't worry about my leper. And he's like, what'd you say? And he's just at the side of the frame, just rubbing his hand for ages, just like, oh.
What Shane's little line, is this your finger? I don't know how you can't love this movie. It's so
great.
good. It's just, it's rollicking.
But the heist goes wrong because Wolf spots Will
and as
Scarlet.
far as he knows, he's a traitor.
Yes. And so Will Scarlet is added to the
String him up as well.
string him up as well.
String him up with the others.
But there's not enough, and he's tied to the barrel. And there's a choice there. Do we blow up the barrel? I wonder if Robin Hood would have done it if Will Scarlet hadn't have just, revealed himself to be his brother.
Do you know, it seems that barrel's awfully close to all the other people they're trying to save as well, and as something which is going to explode.
Yeah.
But maybe they've worked it out very well. I don't know. There's also, you can't skip over the line because it's one of the other lines I say all the time, which is, there's always room for one more. Just dribbling into someone. The bit of spit that comes out of his mouth as he says it is, what a touch.
Someone who loves his work.
I'm sorry, Mr. Slater. I have just dribbled on
I
you.
do like an executioner who enjoys his job. It's a great character trope, isn't it?
He's so ready to kill everybody. This was always the bit of the film talking about good bits. This is the goodest bit.
Yeah.
I used to enjoy the forest fight, a bit of a sense of doom and negativity, but this is the bit. I'm waiting for Robin to get his bow out.
Yeah.
He can shoot the rope. The idea of being able to shoot a rope.
Yeah.
He licks the flight on the second shot. Rob, why does he do that?
I don't know why he licks his arrows.
He does it. He does two different things. I'll explain it all. Don't worry.
All right, please.
So the other thing that he does in between. So he takes the first shot. Right, there's a guard coming up behind him, but he's going to make the shot amidst distraction.
Yeah.
As he's. Well, I will actually say we've skipped over that with the only shot that you remembered from the film where Marian blows in his hair.
Yeah.
The arrow misses the target.
Yeah.
Nearly kills somebody.
Nobody kills someone who's just like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Health and safety, lads, come on. Anyway, we're back in the room. We're back in Nottingham Castle. The guard's coming up behind him, takes the shot. He nicks the rope, doesn't break through the rope, so Wolf is still hanging by the neck. The jump down was when I was a kid. I just wanted to jump down things like that all the time. I became like I used to go to the beach and just jump down walls or rocks or whatever. But I would try and do it exactly like that.
Yeah,
I so nonchalant. And that's when he takes the second shot. He licks the arrow so that the arrow spins, so that there is more contact with the rope, which is why it goes through.
Come
the
on,
rope.
that's cool.
It is fucking cool.
Yeah,
is what it is. And John and Fanny are just enormously relieved. And then he's like, I'm just going to start doing all of the others really quickly. The sheriff escalates. John then is already on his way. He's running anyway to try and save.
Why isn't that being put in video games with bow and arrows as like a little mechanic? Lick the arrow to add spin to the arrow.
I don't know. Yeah,
come on, developers who are
A
listening.
special shot, like it could be like an unlockable ability.
Yeah, definitely.
There are 3 special shots.
Yeah,
and one of them I would say is actually four.
He does the double shot.
We're coming to that, but before that is the shot which I assume they knew was going to be like the fucking money shot.
It's one of like the all-time frames, surely, of like just it's quintessential cinema frame.
The poster is not in the movie. It's from a different, more zoomed out view. In the movie, you get close up of his face and then it comes away, but the arrow is already shot. And he's out of focus in the background. The sound effect of that, the extreme fast zoom into the executioner's head to mimic the path of the arrow. The arrow's on fire. It just looks.
I mean, and
cool.
This is all just physical effects, right? As in
they actually shot all those people.
No, I don't mean that. I mean specifically the shot of the explosion behind him.
Yeah, right.
And the arrow leaving his bow.
Behind him.
It's just crazy.
Again, amidst distraction,
Yes.
Little John saves everybody by destroying.
Being really strong.
He's really strong. Will Scarlet is saved. Alan Rickman's up in arms. He can't believe what's happening. The barons are I can't even remember what the Baron says, and he's just furious.
Yeah.
Shut your face. And then, yes, the double shot. And with the double shot, he bites off one of the flights so that it deviates from the straight. So one arrow's being shot straight. One he knows is going to tend to the right. Takes down those two horsemen. Azeem makes a big speech. What a speech.
It's a great speech.
Yeah.
Come on. Everyone's running away. Yeah. I was so like, I want to fight.
Exactly.
I'll fight.
If you would be free men.
Englishman. Or just English. It's
Yeah.
great. Really, really good.
Oh.
I just want to say about just before you did say it, but I just want to re-mention it. Just him not when he's trying to shoot the rope and there's a soldier trying to kill him and he doesn't any really bother with him. He just keeps trying to. He's got his focus. He's got his purpose. Like, I have to shoot this rope, and I'm just going to ignore you as long as I can, and then deal with you in a minute. I just really appreciated
good.
that. And another movie would have had him like cheekily just kill that, take that guy out, you know. But it's like, no, this is more important.
Who would win in an archery competition between Robin Hood and Legolas?
Oh, well, Legolas isn't real. Robin Hood is is real, isn't he? Slight note of doubt about Azeem and Robin both winning fights with armoured soldiers with swords using just a bit of wood.
Yes, really famously bendy bit of wood.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah, it is fine. And also,
but you know where the chink in the armour is. So.
The man running away because of the very sight of Azeem's scimitar.
Yes.
Always made me laugh as a kid, just running away. And then
the catapult.
The catapult's great. The catapult line is dubbed on television, and it was on home release as well. Always used to bug me, and I used to, because I was like, I'm sure
Will Scarlett's line.
Yeah, fuck me, they cleared it.
Yeah.
and on TV he says, buy me. They cleared
By me.
it is a bit out of sorts. I don't know. It's like they haven't used that word throughout the film.
Yeah, it's really struck
You're
me.
allowed to use one F-bomb in a
PG.
PG-13, right?
Yeah, I guess
so
that's
they're just like, we can put a fuck in here.
It really struck
Where
me.
shall we put it?
But I enjoyed it very much.
Where else would you put it, Nath? If you could put an F-bomb in here.
Do you know? I don't think you need one. Where would you put it?
Don't know, just someone saying, fuck off, sheriff.
It's got to be like one of the merry men.
One of the lads.
This is a new thing we should do, by the way, is you can add one F-bomb to every movie.
I did see someone tweeting this about Lord of the Rings. Where would you put an F-bomb in the Fellowship of the Ring?
That's great.
And it's like when Gandalf's like, hobbits. Fucking hobbits.
And my fucking axe. Where I would put it.
Can we do 5 minutes on this?
I guess I would put it, maybe Azeem comes through the door and he says, I have redeemed my fucking vow. Maybe
that's where you do it before that.
When Azeem wouldn't swear.
They're trying to bang the door down and he'd say, fucking English oak.
Damned English oak. Yeah, no, maybe you're right. So it always struck me as slightly odd. Also, I just want to give a shout out to the stupidest fucking peasants in the world. With the portcullis has been cut down bravely by Bull dressed as a Celt, which I really enjoy. And then they have to go back through that way because that's where the sheriff is taken. Marian Robin goes to investigate, realizes there's no hope of raising the portcullis because 3 people have climbed to the top and are just shaking the bus. You fucking idiots. What are you doing? We're going to get through here in a moment. I hate those guys. I've always hated them. So he has to find a different way through. I can't remember exactly what happens. But him and Azeem find the scribe, find Rob.
Yeah.
Up the stairs. That way.
Brave.
He does a Nathan Drake, doesn't he, Robin? He climbs to the top and there's like a banner hanging down and he uses that to swing through the window.
And all the time, the sheriff and his crone are forcing the priest to marry Marian, and she's furious.
Yes.
How could you?
And worse. I mean,
this is quite an unsettling scene here now because they're like Alan Rickman continuing to give his camp funny performance while beginning to sexually assault Marian as he forces.
They have brought comedy to a
married.
sexual assault. It's weird,
the 90s,
but it works.
It's the 90s. Everyone. Well, the horrible lines from Mortiana are just, she's ripe. She will give us a son.
Yeah.
And then he's, the That's my wife, crone.
Yeah.
For once in my life, I will have something pure. Will you stop interfering?
Yeah.
And the shot of him forcing her legs open, cut in television. Probably for good reasons.
Yes.
I will say again, as well as laughing at an unattractive lady, that was the shot that got the biggest laugh in the cinema every time.
Wow.
People were like, "Oh."
There's like
That's so weird.
There's a real jarring slapstickness to it.
Yes,
like
definitely.
Alan Rickman sort of like goes up like in a weird little jaunty way and like.
Yeah,
it is very slapstick. And it is, it is supposed to be comedy. That's the funny thing about
just
it.
It's not. I guess it didn't fly then if they were going to cut it out of some versions of it.
As a kid, I saw nothing wrong with it. But yes, I know what you mean. It didn't. I guess what I'm saying is, at the time, it didn't seem so bad. But I guess very quickly, I'm not even sure it was in the VHS I had. But like you're right, like veering between that and comedy, the little shot of he's doing his whole bit right. He's got his hand over her mouth. Yes, of course he does. Like even that is funny. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Maybe not difficult. Maybe just correct that they cut it out. His breaking off from raping his new wife to be very annoyed that Robin
the eye roll when Robin Hood comes in is great. Oh, for God's sake.
Do you mind? We've just been married. And then the fight, which I like as a fight. It was a good fight.
Yeah, it's not
lots of jumping around.
It's difficult.
Slapstick.
It's not a beautiful fight. It's like it feels quite a real fight in a difficult space. Stuff falling up. I like when the Sheriff of Nottingham's lost his sword. He's just throwing loads of stuff at Robin, and that's actually quite difficult to deal with. Like stop, throw, no, get.
I also often do the laugh that he does when he picks up his sword. It's so evil.
It's a good fight in
good.
Difficult space, like I said.
Candle wax on the chest. I always used to not know what that was after he'd been stabbed and he walks towards the window and the light. He's got like horrible swollen bits on his chest. It's the wax that Marian's already thrown onto him. Anyway, Robin wins the fight with the dagger. The sheriff gives a look of recognition, understands what's happened. Justice has been served.
Yeah.
Everybody cries. Bryan Adams' music plays.
Wait, you've missed out Mortiana not being dead. I mean, first of all, she's so attacking good. Azeem, stabs him in the leg, and he gets her on the end of a pike, which I always thought was really horrible, and she just sort of runs off, scampers away. But it's a horrible little. I mean, Rob, you didn't know about it. Did you think she was dead? Did you see her coming back at the end as she does, and Azeem saving the day?
I thought she was going to kill Azeem.
Yeah,
I thought that was what was going to happen, and she does stab him, right?
She does, in the leg, nasty.
I didn't see her coming back. I wasn't surprised when she did, and then she immediately is killed for real.
And Azeem gets to fulfill his life debt.
Yes,
he saved Robin's life.
And I like Marian's reaction to the whole thing because she's like ready to give an emotional response to having been saved by Robin, and then suddenly this mad
new layer
shit happens, and she just starts crying.
It's really good.
I think it's great.
It's spot on.
Cut straight to them being married. But the marriage is interrupted.
Oh, here we go. I didn't see this coming.
Yes.
Halt.
And when the character is framed in a certain way, we're like, who is that? Who's back there? You're like, what's happening here? Why aren't we seeing who this is?
I can't allow this wedding to take place unless I give away the bride.
It's me, the king of England.
He's got such a presence, hasn't he? Holy shit.
That's great. And he's been Robin Hood.
Has he?
Yeah. He was in Robin and Marian, as I said. Yeah.
No, I didn't realise that.
In a less successful movie about 10 or 15 years before this one.
I also just reminds me of the end of the Disney movie when Prince John, who's like the main antagonist of that film, he's like a scraggly, scrawny little crappy lion.
Yeah.
And right at the end, King Richard comes back, and he's like an amazing. He's like Mufasa, and Sean Connery just is.
Yeah,
he's a big lion.
He is just a wonderful lion of a man, isn't he?
Yeah,
you look radiant.
I love I love everybody taking a knee, except for Azeem.
Yes.
I'm like, fair play.
That was my dad's favourite joke in the film.
My king.
He was always like, that's good.
Yeah, it's great. And Friar Tuck is just amazing in this bit. And I always think about the end of this movie. I always think about him looking down the lens.
Yeah. We waste good drinking time.
Yeah. It's a great laugh. And we're out. And again, we've talked about this before, about movies not hanging around. I mean, this one has hung around a little bit longer just to say they got married. But it's like 2 minutes or something. And it's like, there you go, it's off. And then what happened? Did all the poor people get all the money? And did they rebuild Sherwood Forest? Or it's just like, no, don't worry about it, it's off.
Yes. No, it's out, and we just listened to Bryan Adams.
We actually don't, though.
Yeah,
we don't.
No, we do.
We don't. We might go away and do it, but
no, we do.
In the version of the movie I saw,
no, I watched the same version of the movie, Dave.
Right, you watched. I'm assuming that
it's about 10 seconds into
further into the credits.
I'm gonna, in a rare moment, I'm gonna pop this on.
I watched a good 10 seconds of the credits.
So
I reckon more.
It didn't come on. I was waiting for you get the melody when they part, when Marian and Robin Hood part in the fog.
I know he's going to be right because he's seen it a million times.
Michael came and is a co-writer on the song because it's based on the Marian's theme so it's part of the orchestral score, which then they Bryan Adams and whatever his keyboardist wrote the song in the studio they were working in London, but it's based on that original theme, which is why it flows so well. I always used to go like, I wonder if they wrote how do
they do that?
Yeah, basically.
And they filmed the video where they get married. I think the video for the song is at the little marriage ceremony.
It was Julian Temple, I think, directed that, and he's like a movie director, documentarian. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Yep, the horrible scene that we were just talking about. Let's get to the end.
I believe you, Nath.
He wants to hear this. He wants to hear the song.
I do want to hear the song. It's got to play us out.
We'll get a copyright strike.
I I bought the 12-inch of this from Woolworths in Gillingham High Street.
Wow.
And the B-side was nothing to do with Robin Hood, which was always a bit disappointing. Oh, music's so good.
The end.
The end. What a great story. The end.
The end.
And then you're probably sitting there in the cinema thinking, oh, they're playing a bit of the... Oh, you stupid bastard.
Yeah, that's what happened to me when I was watching it.
That's probably... Oh, now it's gone somewhere else.
Yeah. You don't get to watch credits now on streaming services. As soon as the credits come on, you got to fanny around and find the remote and be like, yes, I want to watch the credits, please.
I do agree.
Actively
really
ask to see it.
Yeah, it is bad.
I can't even stop it, everyone.
But I believe you, Nath. I believe you.
I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't want you to believe me, Rob. I want you to hear it.
It
doesn't take long. Listen. That's the sign. The
key change.
And then we're into Bryan Adams.
Okay.
The names on the screen are still named characters. It's still the cast.
This is like an old version of a Marvel-style extra scene. People are filing out of the cinema at this point and then going, oh, so it's the song.
I used to sit in the cinema and listen to the whole thing. I used to love it.
I think everybody did because, his song was massive as we've discussed. As was the
number
film.
one for 15 weeks in the charts.
Crazy.
On top of the pops.
Weeks.
Absolutely crazy.
What other things should we talk about with Robin Hood?
Well, nothing now. That's the time. We're already late for work.
What are you talking about? We have to talk about Robin Hood. We just have to keep talking about it forever and ever. So next up is Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which Rob will be leading us through.
I know lots about that film.
I can't decide if that was okay.
I don't know lots about that film. I've seen it a few times and like it.
Well, you've got 1 week to become an incredible expert.
Become more of an expert than I currently am.
Yeah,
for sure.
Can we get some? Critical acclaim, some money? Any of that stuff?
And before that, we will be watching a bonus movie in just 2 days' time. There will be an episode on the channel, and that is based on Silence of the Lambs. It's what we decided while you were live streaming the other day, Rob. Dave and I decided.
I thought you'd agree.
Yeah,
I saw the discussion and agreed, so did not join the discussion.
I'm really excited for you to watch it, just because of the story.
The story. I've seen it once when I was 13.
To annoy your mum, or annoy your dad,
so my mum could annoy my dad. Yeah.
So I'm excited for you to see it again.
Well, thank you for watching that film with me. I had a great time.
It was a pleasure.
I cried, I think, 2 or 3 times It's just a brilliant movie, isn't it? It's just an absolutely fantastic.
I was going to make a joke
not a
about the
brilliant
bits that you
movie.
cried out there.
It's not a brilliant movie.
Shut your mouth.
I think it's nice that you cried. Obviously, this movie means a lot to you, and it's
it's a really
strong
good
memory
movie.
from your child. It's not a really good movie.
I think it is a good movie, but I also I just Googled it and saw that it didn't have a very good IMDb score or Rotten Tomatoes score. And it's just interesting to me because I was like, no, I think this is a classic.
It is a classic.
But the internet's like, no, it's not that good.
Fuck the internet.
Yeah, I agree.
And fuck everyone out there if they disagree with me.
And God bless Robin Hood.
That's where we should end it.
You've been listening to Redshirt Cinema Club. If you're enjoying the podcast and would like to receive 2 exclusive episodes per month, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Just check the link in the description. We'd also love to hear from you. Email us at redshirtcinemaclub@gmail.com or follow us on social media. We'll be back with another episode next Monday.